Hi everyone. I had to redo this video because I deleted it by accident and it was a live stream, so I don't have a copy on my computer. So, okay, take 3 on a video update of my custom physic vehicle. Now you can see the Opel from the other videos. Now this is my new class for the physic vehicle. So you can see there's a structure here for the wheels. Why is this so big? Okay, cool. So you have the bone name, steering angle, and whether or not you want to apply torque to that wheel. The bone name is because this new class uses a skeletal mesh, just like the default vehicle class from Epic Game. And so that's, again, easier to work with like that. So onto the masterclass blueprint. It has a few functions, like change view, activate the cameras, the camera distance, and all these camera stuffs from the previous videos. So I incorporated the camera system into this class as well. Then we have set throttle and steering for now. And so you also have the create physics constraints, which basically you have an array of wheel structures, and so you can add as much wheels as you want, and this function here is gonna create the physics constraints for each of these wheels. Now wheels that are able to steer requires one more physics constraint than the one which are just rolling and doesn't steer. And so that's why there is kind of twice the code here, so that I don't create 2 constraints for each wheels, whether or not they need it. So that's gonna save on constraints and help a little bit with the performance, I guess. And so it just creates the constraints, set up all the variables by itself, which we can later on access and modify at runtime ourselves as well. So I've made a few variables for the suspension, strength, damping, and length that are used to set up the constraints here. And position that constraint into the same location as the bone you've set it to. Stuff like this. So all you have to do when you have that master class is to create a child blueprint of it. That's exactly what I did for the Opel here. You can see into the parent class is BP Master Vehicle. And then all you have to do is hook up the functions to the input keys. Just like you would do it with the default class, really. So you see here, I hooked up the look around and the event tick with the mouse axis there. And I can set the throttle, set camera distance is going to be moving the camera back and forth with the speed and all that. And yeah, set steering. I've actually set the steering onto the big and play because I didn't put the steering function back in from the old class into this one. And so I just set a steering angle and I'm good to go. And then same for the throttle, since I didn't add the acceleration and transmission and all that back from the old blueprint. So yeah, you can see the camera won't work. When you look back, the camera moves to the side so that the view doesn't clip through the seat. And you can still use an animation blueprint for the steering wheel, the needles, maybe the shift stick and the handbrake, stuff like this. Oh, and I just jumped off the map. Fantastic. So yeah, I'm just gonna need to port the functions from the old class back in this one, and then you're gonna get a brand new master class, which is so much easier to set up. And the other advantage of that is that you do not need to go into the project setting to set up a new collision channel to prevent the wheels from colliding with the body. That's actually done because of the physics asset, because it's one skeletal mesh, the wheels do not collide with the body. So that is one less step to do, which is great. So I'm just gonna go ahead and deactivate the auto rotate camera. You can see the suspension pretty bouncy there. Actually, I should add some bumps in there. Just for the fun of it. Yeah, maybe that was a bit too much. Okay. I'm gonna flatten that out. Okay, that looks about right. So yeah, you can see suspension at work. It's pretty much the same as it was in the previous class, just much easier to set up. So yeah, if you have any questions or suggestions, or if you just feel like saying something, go ahead and use the comment section. I do my best to read every comments and respond to them. Sometimes I read it in the morning before going to work and I completely forget about it. So yeah, you have to excuse me if I don't answer to your question right away. But yeah, that was it for this little quick update. There's going to be more of that coming pretty darn soon after I'm done re-implementing everything. And then I'll post the update for you to download for free on the forum, as I always do. So that's it. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.